normal regular turtle in Hong Kong and things like that? Like, is there a specific category of animals that's really threatened by this?
I think any exotic animal that you bring to the wild, even sometimes if it's species that is native to Hong Kong, but because you change the balance in the ecosystem, you will definitely impact. And as you say, when people release as a dog, like for fishes, if you have a tank with like, let's say 50 or 100 fishes of like 10 centimeters each, and you release them all together in the reservoir, they will definitely eat a lot of the resources allowed. One of the species will die no matter what.
Of the aspect that you mentioned earlier is the trade sort of aspect of it. Of course, both fish, street, and then non-crop, and so on. Can you expand a little bit more about that? Specific for this occasion. How what's the negative chain?
So yeah, that's the double negative effect of the Buddha birthday. Is just that people will think first about the release that cause problem, but you also have the sourcing of the animal. Like I said, most of animals doesn't come from Hong Kong, so you need to find them somewhere. And then you're killing the biodiversity where you're poaching illegally, for example in Vietnam or in China, where you will collect those animals from the wild and you will put them in the market in Hong Kong. So first of all, they were free in the wild and happy, and they arrive in the market because for your occasion in Buddha birthday, you want to buy them. So if you don't buy it, well, Hong Kong people know it. If you don't have demand, you won't have supply. So it's really a simple process. Like if people don't do this mercy release, people will slowly stop to provide those animals. And in terms of exotic pets, you have a lot also of farms where those animals never grew in the wild. They are like born in cages or in like, as you said, in Longkok, for example, you can open like plastic drawers where you will have a lot of small turtles like piling each other, and they spend their entire life there. So yeah, it's a question also of, do you really think it's a good way of treating animals to be like in plastic bags and in plastic drawers? Or yeah, so just for your action of mercy release, those animals.
So your advice would be, first of all, leave them alone in nature, let them do their thing.
Yes.
Is even more kind than collecting back, buy them, transport them miles away, and then release them, and then eventually.
Indeed, the best way to, if you really want to respect nature and you love animals, because yes, there is, some people will be like, no, but once I have it, for example, as a pet, even if we exclude the release, but even having exotic pets in your home, people will be like, oh, but I will treat them really well, like if it was my son or my daughter. The point is, if you really like them, it's like a relationship. If you really like the person, just let it go, let it be with his life and live without it. If you want to see wildlife, go to the rescue center. We have here, for example, Cattery Farm. That is an excellent center for rehabilitation and rewilding animals because accidents happen even without pets. A barking deer, for example, can cross the road and get injured, so we put it at the Cattery Farm. Or, for example, snakes. A lot of people in Hong Kong have snakes at home. So once those snakes are caught by SPCA or any organism like the police, they are generally brought to Cattery Farm that will check if they are apt to go back to the wild because they are not injured or have diseases, and then they are back to the wild after a few weeks or something like this. So if you want to see wildlife, there is many occasions, and you don't have to like buy animals like if they were like purchased in Taobao or something.